let me ask everybody a question. What is overall the most boring part of the NBA season? It's obviously not the finals or the playoffs, as that's probably the most exciting part of the year. Maybe the All-Star game? As usually these days it's not really as competitive and sometimes a bit boring as it used to be. Maybe it's the second half of the year, which is also the wrong answer because we all know that the second half is easily the better half. So that would put the answer at very likely the first half of the season. And probably to most NBA fans, that would be their answer. Well, except for the offseason, of course. But what makes the start of the NBA season so uneventful? Well, like most sports with a lot of games, it's easy for teams to start off hot and fall apart as we get closer to that All-Star break. Just look at last year with the Jazz and Blazers. Both of those teams were some of the worst in the league after starting off red hot to begin the year. And honestly, this is a big complaint I've heard from people just getting into basketball, as they feel like the games in the first half of the season and the second half of the season have vastly different weights to them. Now, this isn't to say that the first half of the season doesn't matter, because it obviously does, but the stakes are obviously a lot lower than that playoff push part of the year. This reason is why I think it's so important that the in-season tournament exists, and it's a hidden genius on the NBA's part because it does something that really goes to solve a problem that a lot of people have. Yo, what's up everybody, it's your boy 2KJ, and today I want to talk about the in-season tournament and a couple of different important changes that they can make that would make it even better. If you like the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and let's get it. Now, for those who don't know, the NBA made a huge change this season, implementing an in-season tournament that takes inspiration from interleague play in soccer, with a basketball twist of their own. The way the in-season tournament works is that the league is split up into 6 groups of 5, with 5 teams per group and 3 groups per conference. The way these groups are chosen is based off their win-loss record from last season, helping keep the groups evenly balanced. The group play is all played during the month of November, with the playoffs being played in early December. And the way seeding works is also really smart, as again it takes some inspiration from the soccer leagues across the pond. Each team in a group will play the other teams once, making for a best possible record of 4-0 and a worst possible record of 0-4. These games are integrated in the season, so teams won't have to play extra games, and gives a sense of importance early in the season, which is really important for watchers. They've also made changes to the courts and jerseys, which have mixed reviews, but overall does show that they're trying to make these games have a feeling of more importance, which is pretty big because it is in the beginning of the season. Now, after each group is settled, the teams with the best record in the group get a pass to the knockout stages, with the 4th best member being on the wild card, as you can see here with the Phoenix Suns, and that team sort of seeks to balance it out. Obviously, it's the best team that isn't a group winner. These will be home games for each of these winning teams though, with the Lakers playing home games against the Suns, hopefully giving them an almost playoff atmosphere, as teams try and advance on the semifinal round, which is in, drumroll please, Las Vegas, which isn't really surprising, and honestly, that part in particular is where I feel like the NBA cooked the most. While having the games at home will give them an almost playoff feel, which I think is really good for that first round, I do think that having them in a neutral site like Las Vegas gives it more of a Final Four feel. And that March Madness kind of atmosphere they're trying to capture with 1 games is incredibly smart, and we know how electric those March Madness games are, and imagine how magnified it'd be with NBA fans. And we know that Vegas is an incredibly popular location and will draw on all manner of fans who want to cheer their teams on. This year's knockout stage is also an NBA dream come true, as both the East and West sides have major potential to have some incredible matchups. Lakers Suns, like I said, will be another great matchup between KD and LeBron, and Kings Pelicans might be Zion's chance to bring himself back in the limelight. In addition, a Kings Lakers rematch in the semis would be cinema. On the other side though, Bucks Knicks is going to be a movie, and the Firecracker Pacers get a chance to make a statement win early against the Boston Celtics. And just like the other side, Celtics Bucks or Celtics Knicks would be crazy and draw in a ton of fans that week, as both of these semifinal games are on the same day, which is also really smart because fans don't have to leave and come back. They can go to one semifinal game and then just go to the next one right after. I mean, can you imagine that the NBA is really looking for something like Bucks Suns, or what they really want, Lakers Celtics in the championship game, which would be crazy. But I have a better question. Basketball is all fun, but what do the players get when they win? Well, the prize pool hasn't been shared by the NBA yet, but reportedly, players who win the championship will be awarded $500,000 each, which is a generational amount of money for a guy just trying to find a spot on the rotation, or a nice little something something for our maxed out guys. The runner-ups get $200,000, the semifinalists getting $100,000, and the quarterfinalists getting $50,000, which is still a nice chunk of change. While this reward is fantastic, I do think that they could make one crucial but very risky change that would give the tournament a whole different level of meaning. And that's giving the winner a second round pick. And not just a random second round pick like the 45th pick or something like that, the first pick of the second round. Now, hear me out, I might be cooking a little too much, definitely understand I might be wilding out right now, but I will say that imagine these players are playing for money and not only a chance, obviously, to get a trophy or the MVP honors, but also a draft pick. We know how important draft picks are in the NBA, especially to contending teams. And these teams that are going to be in this tournament are going to be teams who are trying to make a finals push. That extra basically first round pick, with the number one pick in the second round, is going to be huge. Because not only will these up-and-coming players who are trying to get some more recognition and a nice bonus in the league get that extra incentive of the second-round pick, but the people that the NBA wants to be in this tournament, the contenders, will 100% be trying because they need that second-round pick. That second-round pick might save them at the end of the season. Or if they didn't want to add a pick, the NBA could just upgrade your pick to the first and the second round, which would still be huge. Now, I know I am cooking a lot, but I do think that this would give these games an entirely different level of importance, helping solve that problem I explained at the beginning of the video. But what do you guys think about the in-season tournament? Do you think the changes are good? Do you think what I was saying was cooking or not cooking at all? But you put it down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Either way, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!